I hope I've done this right. Enjoy, nonetheless. Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. My name is Silka and today I will be doing a book tag. The book tag that I will be doing is called Why Haven't I Read These Books? Tag. I was tagged by Adriana over at Carbon Bonded Books. I think without further ado, we should just get into it. So the first prompt is, why haven't I read this classic? Well, mostly because I don't really read classics, but I still decided to go and find something. I wanted to look for something that I had on my shelves, so stuff like Pride and Prejudice are out. Also because I'm not really sure if I should read it or not. It's not really my thing. It doesn't really call to me. I do want to read some like children's classics, but I don't have any of them, so I couldn't pick that. I ended up going with a modern classic, and that is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I have watched the movie. I love the movie, and then I wanted to read the source material, so that is why I have the book. And I've had it for a while now, but I still haven't read it. And I so want to. Why haven't I read it? I think it's because I tend to gravitate more towards the fantasies, because that's the genre that I'm most comfortable with. And I don't know, there's just something about fantasies that just call to me. And I think that is why I gravitate more towards those, and also the age group of young adult, whereas this is adult. I don't know why, but it's never at the top of my head when I have to pick a book just at random. Maybe I should give it a go soon. Next up we have, why haven't I read this fiction? And I was like, what is meant by that? So of course I have watched Adriana's video, and she said that it was like general fiction. And then I was like, what is that? And I had to look it up, and I was like, okay, so apparently it's like a contemporary style book where the characters are realistic and the story, it's realistic, or something along those lines. Still, I was like, well, that could be historical fiction. It could also be romance. So where do I go with this? I picked two books, and I picked a historical and a romance. So I went with Drizzle Dreams and Love-Struck Things by Maya Prasad. This is a book that was released last year. So, I mean, I've only had a year or so to read it, which should be enough. The reason that I wanted to pick this, despite not having it for that long, is ever since I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna love that. There's just something about it, despite me not normally going for romancy books or contemporary books. There was just something about this that made me go, that's gonna be for me, for sure. When I got it, I was like, I'm gonna read this now. And it's been on my TBR for a couple of times, like a couple of months, and I don't know why I haven't read it, because I really want to. And there's also a sequel either coming out, or maybe it's already out. I'm actually not sure. It just seems like this is so cozy and so fun and so sweet. So I just don't know why I haven't picked it up, especially when I've been in a slumpy mood, because that is sometimes what I need when I'm in those slumps. But I can't tell you why I haven't read this book, because I still really, really, really want to. Now for the historical, this is also a classic, so it could have worked for the other one as well. But I chose The Help by Catherine Stockett. I so want to read this book, but I also really want to see the movie, and I haven't seen the movie. So I was actually thinking that if you guys would be interested, I could do maybe sometime next year. It's not going to be this year because I don't have time to do it this year. But sometime next year I could do like a vlog thing where I read the book, watch the movie, and compare, and then we can have a little talk about it, maybe in like a live stream, or maybe I'll just do a video like at the end of that vlog. I don't know, we'll figure that out. But if that is something that you guys would be interested in, then let me know, because it would also help me actually get to this book. I think I'm gonna love it. I just need to get to it. I could also do the same with The Lovely Bones. Maybe I should do like a series next year where I pick a book that has an adaptation and read it, and then watch the movie and then compare. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe. Ooh, I could do it with fairy tales. That would be fun. Those were the two that I had picked for this. Next up we have, why haven't I read that nonfiction? Because it's nonfiction. I don't read a lot of nonfiction. When I do, it's mostly true crime. And I do actually have a book that I was like, why haven't I read that yet? I've had it for ages. And that is this one. It's called Drabschäferne. I don't know how to translate that for you. But these two guys were kind of policemen, but like prestigious or highly ranked. I don't know what to call it. But they were like at the top. The best of the best. And then they talk about the cases. And then this one, they actually brush upon one of the worst serial killers that Denmark has ever had. And I don't know why I haven't read this yet, because they do talk a lot about that case and some other cases. I don't know why I haven't read this yet, because I read another book following this guy. His name is Ove Dahl, and I love that. This is a similar style because it's the same like editor or writer that did this in collaboration with these two, and it's the same like type of book. It could have been like a series, and I know that there is one more at least, so I really just need to get on with it because I do like these true crime books. Next up is Why Haven't I Read That? Genre fiction. And my like go-to genre is fantasy, in case you were wondering. I actually picked a book that is on my self-destruct list. Now, my self-destruct list for this year will be postponed. I think so. I still haven't decided what to actually do with it, because it was supposed to go up, I think it was August or September, but apparently I was having a little bit of a hiatus then. I didn't really want to do it now because it's getting close to December, January, where I have all of the other stuff that are like annual videos. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with the self-destruct books. So for now, they're just on a standby, and we'll see what happens. But I'll brush upon that at a later time. I'll talk about it with you. We'll see what we do. So this book has had a little bit of a longer run, which is probably a good thing, because I don't know why I haven't read it, because it seems like it's right up my alley. It's Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. If I am not mistaken, this has like Russian inspired culture, and then it's a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, which is two things that I absolutely adore. I love like the Anastasia vibes, so that's like also why I loved Romanoff, or what's it called, Blood Air, those types of books. I love that, like, not icy scenery, but like not polar, but cold. You know, like Northern Europe cold. I like that, and I feel like that is what I'm getting with this book. And then also the Rumpelstiltskin aspect of it. I love that story. And if this has a little bit of that, I'm going to be happy, I think. So I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. I did actually find it as an audio, and I think I'm going to listen to it maybe in December, because it gives like wintry vibes. But I'm not sure, because it is a little bit of a chunker, and that depends on what I do for December in terms of reading, because I haven't decided yet. But I really don't know why I haven't read this. The final prompt is, why haven't I read this book that has been on my TBR for the longest time? Or just been on my TBR the longest. I really don't... Potato. I decided to go for this one. The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. I got this after having read Graceling for the first time, because I read the blurb and it gave me similar vibes. I'm not saying it's a similar story, this is more sci-fi, but it gave me similar vibes to Graceling in terms of Katza's character and how she was a weapon but then turned into something different. And this gave me similar vibes. I've had this for ages. I started out having the Danish one, then I sold that and got the English like box set, and now I still haven't gotten to it, and I'm so excited for it still. Like, it seems so cool, but I can't tell you why I haven't picked it up. I think once again it's the whole thing of it being a sci-fi and not a fantasy. Similarly to the classic, to the nonfiction, I just tend to gravitate towards my fantasies, also because I have a lot of series that I'm in the middle of, so I want to get to those. And then I have a lot of new series, fantasy series, that I want to get started off so that I'm on track when the next one comes out. So all of the other genres just tend to not be as prioritized as fantasy, and that is my bad. but maybe I should try and pick from some of the other shelves a little bit more. That could be a goal for next year. Read one book at least each month that is not fantasy. I should do that. Maybe I should make it 2 books a month, non-fantasy, until I run out of books that are not fantasy. That was it. Awesome. Who am I tagging? So I am tagging Bookish Gems. I am also tagging, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but Jacqueline Miguel. I think I'm tagging Nerdy Nat Reads as well. And then that's the 3 people that I'm tagging. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment telling me a classic that you would recommend to me. Yes, because I do actually kind of want to try to read more classics, but I'm not going to pick up a classic just because it's a classic and people feel like you should read it. I'm only going to pick it up if it has like something that I find interesting. Give me your best classic recommendations, plural. If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, you can always leave a green heart. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!